All right, let's spend a little bit of time talking about physical changes. As you can see in the picture, we're going to talk a lot about the physical changes that occur between the states of matter, solid, liquid, and gas. So what is a physical change? A physical change is a change that alters the form or appearance of a material, but does not convert the material into new substances. So, for example, changing from a solid to a liquid to a gas to a solid. In the example of water, water can freeze, become a solid, melt, become a liquid, or evaporate and become a gas or water vapor. These are physical changes because they're reversible. The water can go back and forth. Now we're going to construct a really awesome graphic, which I highly suggest you maybe take a screenshot so that you can always remember. You will be required to know what is the name of the state change and if it's adding or removing heat. Okay, so going from a solid to a liquid, what would we call that? Melting. Good job. And to go from a liquid to a gas, that's vaporization. Okay, only in the case of water is it evaporation. But any other liquid, it's going to vaporize into a gas. Now to go from a gas to a liquid, that's condensation. Those gas molecules get cold enough that they change back into the liquid state. And to go from a liquid to a solid, what is that one? Freezing. Now in the case of going from a solid to a gas, that is sublimation. Perfect example of that is dry ice. Dry ice, solid carbon dioxide, then in the presence of heat is going to immediately change into a gas. It skips the liquid phase. There's no liquid carbon dioxide that it goes through. It just goes from solid, it's dry ice, to the carbon dioxide. And then to take that carbon dioxide and compress it into a solid, we call that desublimation or deposition. So in order for a solid to melt to a liquid, it usually requires heat. We're going to add heat for that physical state change to occur. For a liquid to become a gas, also, we're going to add heat. And in the case of sublimation, we're going to add heat. And so as you can see now that it requires heat for those molecules to split further apart, to move faster, and to have more space in the new state change. To go from a gas to a liquid, those gas molecules have to get closer together. We're going to remove heat from the system, and they're going to condense into liquid. A great example of condensation is like on a hot summer day, especially since we just finished summer and we're back in school, and you have maybe a glass of lemonade or soda, and you're outside at a barbecue or a picnic, and you notice that the outside of your glass or your can or your cup, it looks like it's sweating. That means that the gas molecules, the water molecules, the water vapor that's in the air, gets cold enough that they turn into water droplets on the outside of your cup, because your cup's really cold, right? Because you probably have ice, or, you know, the drink has been in the cooler or something. So that doesn't mean that liquid leaves your cup and sits on the outside. It means that all the water molecules around it have condensed and they've gotten closer together and become liquid water. Also, to be able to go from a liquid to a solid, to freeze, you need to remove heat, like putting things in the freezer. And again, takes a tremendous amount of cold temperatures and heat loss for a gas to skip the liquid phase and go straight to a solid, like in the state of, in the case of dry ice. Another great example of that is sometimes it's like getting to be fall into winter, and sometimes winter we might have a warm day, and so a lot of the snow melts and then evaporates, and then we hit a cold front and it gets super cold in the night and the temperatures drop. Often what happens is those water molecules in the gas phase, water vapor in the air, will skip the liquid phase and immediately become solid ice, like on a windshield or on grass. Okay, it won't go to liquid droplets and then freeze. It'll get so cold fast enough that that water vapor just condenses super, super, super fast, and it desublimates or deposits onto a surface like a windshield. Now, as you're filling out your video guide, you're going to take some time to make sure that you have all your information and you filled out this chart on your own, so you have a copy of it. And you're also going to give 5 examples of physical state changes from what you've learned and remembered in this presentation, and you'll add that into your video guide. Thanks, guys. Have a great day.